My skin tone is, well, what's up everyone? I hope you're having a good day or had a good day wherever you may be in this world. Today I decided to go ahead and try the new Fenty concealer and Fenty powder, and as well as use her other products on my face. Any products that I used that were not hers, I just skipped right through. This is a check-in video, so that way you know throughout the day how this powder and how the concealer has worn. If you would like to see me apply her concealer and powder, then please just keep on watching. Let's just go ahead and get started with the video. I am using all Fenty products, and if I am not using a Fenty product, I'm just going to skip over it throughout the video. So to start this video off, we are mainly focusing on the concealer and the setting powder. I just want to use all of the Fenty products so that way my concealer and powder can work like the best with, because usually brands kind of like formulate their products to go well with their stuff, you know, with their own brand. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to be using is the Fenty Retouch Primer. Instant Retouch Primer. I really don't ever like reach for this stuff, and I should, because it's not bad. This primer is like lotion. It's just, I feel like when I want to be super matte, I need to use matte primers. So I didn't buy any of her brushes, but I'm just going to do my makeup routine as I would with my normal brushes, as well as with my Morphe Beauty sponge. I didn't buy her sponge either. And then now I'm going to go in with the Fenty foundation, Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation, and I'm in the shade 260. So the foundation's on. It's a little bit too dark for my skin tone currently, but it's not awful. It doesn't look crazy. Okay, so the next product we're going to go in with is the concealer. Since Fenty Beauty has first launched, she has made such an impact on the beauty industry just because I'm pretty sure she started off with I want to say 40 foundations. Pretty sure it's 40 because she just came out with another 10 colors, which would be 50. And right off the bat, she came out with 50 different colors of concealer. These are all her colors of concealer. Now, in the Sephora that is near me, I had such a hard time swatching the concealers because of undertone. A lot of it, like the first 3 ones, reminded me of pastel colors, like on Easter. And it kind of like freaked me out. But a lot of the colors were like too yellow, too pink, and I'm neutral, but my skin tone is like it's olive, and so I'm not going to choose a super yellow or a super pink. I want a neutral color, or a neutral undertone. So I was sitting there forever swatching, so I think that this concealer might be a little bit too light, but I think that we're going to be able to make it work. I did swatch the same shade as my foundation, which was 260, and it just seemed a little bit too dark, which the foundation again is a little bit too dark for me, but I like it kind of works. It's not that bad, but then I went like down a little bit, and it's just, like I said, either the shade was too pink or the shade was too yellow, and I feel like the only neutral undertone concealer that I could find that was light enough for my likings was the shade 150, which is like so much more lighter than my foundation, but hey, you know what? I'm in the winter shade, and yeah, so 150 is for light skin with neutral undertones, which actually 145 is for light skin with warm olive tones, and that would be me. So if this doesn't work, I will definitely try out 145. We'll see. She just kills it in the whole entire shade range, honestly. But yeah, I was super excited to get this. So let's go ahead and try it. So right off the bat, it's definitely one of my favorite concealers is the Tarte Shape Tape, and right off the bat I can tell that it's definitely not as thick as the Shape Tape, and just by the way that it's applying, I can tell that my Tarte Shape Tape is going to have more coverage than this. So once it's blended out completely, it really doesn't seem like that big of a shade difference. But again, it is really your preference. Like if you like a super bright under eye, then this is good. But yeah, I really do, especially in the winter, like a super bright under eye because it just like makes everything come together. So my under eye looks so white, but it's definitely not awful, but the coverage just isn't as good as my favorite concealer, which should be the Tarte Shape Tape. This is more of like a buildable coverage. Because I didn't color correct, under my eye, like right in here, kind of looks gray. I don't know if you'd be able to pick that up on camera, but I can almost like see my dark circles. But again, that was my fault for not color correcting, but I usually don't color correct with the Tarte Shape Tape, so that's kind of a little bit of a downfall. But I'm gonna do a wear test, and I will come in and check with you guys like hours down the road and let you know how it's wearing with creasing and all that. Like I had said in other videos, that concealers crease on me, and that's just, I really don't think that it's avoidable. Like, I don't think that you can avoid the creasing of concealers. I mean, maybe you could try with a powder, but a concealer is just a cover-up. It's not like a medical procedure, so it's not going to get rid of your fine lines and wrinkles. It's just not going to. And that's the reality of it. So I don't like knock a concealer for going in my lines unless it's like really, really, really bad. Now, I don't have a powder to set my under eye from Fenty. I didn't want to get just a huge powder for my under eye. I wanted to get a powder for my whole face. So I'm just going to go in with my normal powder and set that. So after setting it, I don't see the concealer setting into my lines as of right now. So I think that she has 7 shades. Online, it's showing me 6. And it's not giving me an option for more. But I do remember, so she has banana, butter, cashew, coffee, hazelnut, and honey. And in store, they had a lavender, which was more for like brightening under the eyes. And what's really cool is online it tells you what shade is for what shade range. So banana is brightening for shades 200 to 290. Butter is for shades 100 to 190. Cashew is for shades 200 to 290. Coffee for shades 400 to 498. Hazelnut for shades 300 to 390. And honey brightening for shades 300 to 390. So yeah, the lavender was a super brightening powder. I didn't want that because I didn't want like super crazy flashback under my eyes if it did give flashback. I got the shade Cashew. I didn't want a translucent setting powder. That's why I didn't really go for the lavender. And I also didn't want a banana powder because I didn't want my face to be too yellow. I wanted something that was going to be my skin tone. That way if I ever am under flash photography, I'm not getting super flashback and I'm not looking super white. So that was my goal for this powder. I love her, like all of her packaging is just amazing, like even in the way that she shapes her stuff. So one thing I do want to point out is I noticed it right away, but there's inside of here comes this, but then there's also something right here, and I'm hoping a lot of people didn't throw it away because it kind of is hard to miss. So this is the beautiful packaging. It's the same as all of her other stuff, like that same shape. I'm just going to rip off the top. I'm going to open up this piece as well. I'm pretty sure this is a stopper, so that way if you're traveling with it, it's not spilling everywhere, which happens with a very lot of powders. So yeah, that's what it is, which is cool because it has like a super long thing right here. You see that? But yeah, you just line it up with the FB in here, and it pretty much plugs your powder, so nothing comes out and it's completely upside down. But it does have this super long thing right here that you could just go ahead and take, and it's not messy at all. So we're gonna go ahead and set my foundation. I like to use my sponge, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. I don't think that this powder is too dark, but I also think that it'll be really good in the summertime as well. So this says light as air setting, photo soft finish for all. And let's just go in with it. Okay, the powder might be a little bit too dark too. Yeah, I might need a brush for this. Definitely don't go in with your sponge. So I guess the only like bad spot would be right here where I tried to do it with my sponge. But it actually, if you put it on with your brush, it doesn't look too bad. Like it's not super dark if you put it on your brush, whereas with the sponge it makes sense because it's just putting it all in one spot. Okay, so I am honestly pretty amazed. I just looked super close to my mirror right here because I thought that my skin was looking a little gray. And when I got closer, usually when I apply powder, my face looks kind of powdery. It doesn't look cakey, it just looks powdery. Like you can almost tell that there's powder, especially before I put a setting spray on because the setting spray kind of like melts everything together. And when I just looked super close, my face looked flawless. Like you couldn't even tell that there's powder on it. And my face is completely set. It's not sticky at all. And I am like in shock. It literally just looks airbrushed. I'm seriously blown away at how perfect this powder has made my face look. I honestly love the way my face looks right now. Like it looks so flawless. I'm so shocked. I'm definitely wowed, and I feel like this is gonna be my #1 powder for every day, especially with a brush, because if I use it with a brush, it doesn't go on a lot in one spot, which is what happened when I used the sponge. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in with my bronzer and my contour and all of that, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in with the best part, which is the highlighter. It's the Fenty Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo in Mean Money and Hustle Baby. And this is the one that it is, and I'm just gonna apply both of them to the tops of my cheekbones. So off camera, I went ahead and I applied mascara, my eyebrows, some bronzer to my lids so that way it wasn't super crazy. So I am now going to take the Fenty Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats. I'm pretty sure this was her 1-year anniversary release, and I'm just going to use this literally as an inner corner highlight. This stuff is absolutely amazing. It was in my 2018 yearly favorites. I will link it down below. Okay, and then to finish off this makeup look, I'm going to top my lipstick with the Fenty Beauty Diamond Milk Gloss Bomb. This is also her 1-year anniversary one, and I'm going to pat this on with my finger because I don't want to get the wand itself super dirty. And you can also check out my 2018 favorites for how I feel on this product. And now this try on is done. I will be checking in a few hours to see how this makeup has wore. It is currently 2:26. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. I will leave my camera here so that way I can check. So it is currently 10:38. 8 hours after I applied all of my makeup. I applied my makeup at 2:26. I do have a different lip color on and a different background. Within like 5 hours of having this stuff on, you get a little bit, not oily, but you get like, it looks like your natural skin pretty much. My first impression when I put it on, you guys saw, the concealer creases, but like I had said earlier in the video that I can't really knock a concealer for creasing because I have fine lines. That's my fault. That's not the concealer's fault. It's not as much coverage as I would like, but it still does work, especially for those light days where you don't want a super heavy duty concealer. And I almost want to say that the color is a little bit too light, but it does work out. So like right now, earlier I had natural lighting, no lights on at all. It was just the sun. But right now I do have a light on, so like after a while, the concealer kind of just blends in and it doesn't look super crazy and like super white. It definitely took me like a little while to get used to the color because I do feel like it was super light, but it's not bad. I have my mirror right here, so let me go ahead and look. My concealer on my chin and on my forehead is not broken up. It's still completely there, as well as my concealer under my eyes. It is still there, but it has definitely settled into my lines like a lot. If I like pull my eye down, you can kind of see like the creases. It's kind of normal, but I'm not sure if it's ever like that bad. If you have good suggestions for under eye setting powders for people with oily skin, definitely let me know, or some tips and tricks, because it seems like every one of my concealer is creased and there's just nothing I can do about it. Yeah, it definitely hasn't broken up down here, on my forehead, over here, not even on my nose. And actually my nose foundation and powder is still on, and that is a shocker because usually it doesn't stay on that long. So the powder right off the bat, I absolutely thought it was amazing. It made my face look so airbrushed and smooth, like I had a filter on, and my makeup never does that. Again, I applied too much with a sponge, so I definitely won't recommend that, but I will use it with a regular brush. Besides me being a little oily, it's because I've had it on for 8 hours. I really do like it. It has made my face look flawless, not super powdery, so I really do like it. I did take some notes. At 3:30, my face didn't feel heavy and it felt like I had just my bare skin, and it was more natural looking than anything. Like, it wasn't super powdery, it wasn't super cakey or anything like that. So that was my clock in about an hour after I had applied it. My final thoughts are I'm definitely going to give this more goes and keep wearing it because I absolutely love it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope that you enjoyed the video and go and try these products out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.